What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great day. It is Saturday afternoon, and I'm here doing some honey-do list stuff. No matter how much you do, fellas, you know it seems like that honey-do list, it keeps growing. Seriously. You mark one thing off on the list, it's like Medusa's hair. You chop one of the snakes off, you get two more in its place. And I swear, that's what the hell happens with this honey-do list. I woke up this morning and I said to my wife, I said, you know, it has been so crazy the last few weeks getting ready for the draft, and last weekend we were literally at the draft right now, getting ready to drive 9 hours to get home, in which case then I had to still get back down to here and then work on this other job to get finished before we get ready to go to Vermont to give back and volunteer on rebuilding some homes. So I said, you know, I said, what you got planned for the day? I said, you know, I think I'm just going to take it easy today. I said, I feel a little bit tired and I just want to relax. You know how that went over, don't you guys? You know how that went over. Well, can we do anything with the back room? What about the cabinet doors over there? Oh, I want you to build like a corner plant unit to put, you know, you got all that old wood down in the cellar. I said, you mean with all the nails and stuff that needs to be? Yeah. Well, we don't have to buy anything. We can just clean that and so underneath all these doors here is about 20 pieces of 1x4, 68.5 inches long, ripped down to 3.4 inches each, so that way they can become shutters for the downstairs here at the house. Anyway, I was sitting here thinking, which is always dangerous when you're doing a honey-do list. And it doesn't matter who you are or what your station in life, there's always a honey-do list. Whether you have the money to pay somebody else to do it, or you have to do that shit yourself. I, of course, have to do that shit myself. I was sitting here thinking about Michael Irvin, okay? And I'm trying to connect the dots here for a couple of things. Now, this is not anything that you've heard anyplace else, but this is one of those things that I believe might actually be the case. So yesterday, we hear, after everything that happened last year, because you remember, this time last year, Michael Irvin was suspended from the NFL Network and ESPN because of the Marriott situation where he was accused of, I'm not even sure what he was accused of. I guess it was, how are you doing?
Good. I just want to tell you, I love what you've done to this place.
Well, thank you.
Beautiful. Christmas time is really nice.
You know, my wife is the decorator. Okay, I'm here working. I'm here working on the honey-do list and stuff now. She wanted it to look like it was an old house. That's why she had like the fake candles that look like candles and stuff to keep it subtle. But yeah.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Well, thank you.
I'll put a picture of it.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, it's nice.
Well, I appreciate that. We're trying to get the outside together. I'm actually making shutters to go down here like the ones I've done up top and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And eventually I got to get a lift out here so I can finish fixing the chimneys and things. But it's getting there.
Before you bought it, I gave you a little bit of money to okay with that.
That's kind of cool. Okay, so I stopped the camera there so I could take Larry through so he could see the house, because he said he had actually donated before I got the house to the Red Brick committee that was trying to save it and stuff. It's amazing how many people are attached to this or excited about what's transpired with this. And it's a good feeling because there's so much negativity in the world and things. It's nice that people are actually happy about something. So back to the negativity. So I was sitting here thinking, remembering how the Michael Irvin situation was last year. Okay? Michael Irvin, of course, suspended from ESPN and NFL Network until the case was basically resolved. Michael Irvin then does not get his job back with ESPN. He starts working with Fox Sports, which has been, it's kind of, he's been the best thing that's on there. But the reality is, media consumption is evolving. Things that used to work don't work anymore. People don't want to watch a show for hours on end. They want to get their news targeted to them right then and there. They don't want to watch a show about all 32 NFL teams. And this is translating to problems for the networks. So it's easy for for NFL Network to say, we're downsizing because we are looking to possibly sell NFL Network to ESPN. They have taken the morning show, and that's on hiatus because they're moving up from New York to California, to their main studio. And then now Total Access is going to be cut probably about the next month. And you go through, and the only big name that I remember hearing now is really Michael Irvin. And I wonder, this is the cynical side of me, is Michael Irvin, let's be clear here, Michael Irvin is one of the reasons why you watch NFL Sunday football pregame. His passion, whether you like the Cowboys or hate the Cowboys, he is incredible. But I wonder if this move was made to appease ESPN, because ESPN, of course, going full in on Michael Irvin and making sure he wasn't part of the coverage for the Super Bowl. And of course, Michael Irvin basically saying, you know what, we'll go to Fox. That this move was made because Michael Irvin and ESPN are having issues. Here's the thing. I was laying there talking to my wife this morning about my thoughts on this. And I said, it looks like ESPN is going to buy NFL Network. And what it reminded me of, I don't know if you guys remember, Kmart or Sears. Probably you younger people really don't. But Sears used to be the retailer. Sears, my in-laws' house, was a Sears kit house. They would literally bring your house on a train ready to be put together. Yeah. Sears and Roebuck catalog, Craftsman tools, that was it. That's where you got all your stuff. And of course, like everything else, it got old and new things came in to replace it. Your Home Depots and Lowe's got the tools and stuff. The clothes and fashions and things. Your department stores kind of came in and got the real fashions and the designer clothes and stuff. And they kind of went by the wayside. Kmart, well, they were the precursor to Walmart, which is then being replaced by Amazon. And so what happened is Sears was losing money and on the verge of bankruptcy, and Kmart, which was on the verge of losing and being bankrupt, decided to merge together. And the thought was these two mega companies joining together will make themselves profitable. But it didn't. What it made was two bad companies losing money into one big company losing money. And they went out of business. And when I sit here and think about ESPN getting NFL Network and joining together, if they're not watching NFL Network and they're not watching ESPN, what is putting the two of them together going to make a reason for you to start watching them? It doesn't. And so that is what they're going to try and do to stay together. The problem is their business model, the demographics have changed. They just have. And they have to change with the times, which is partially why they're looking at trying to do more, of course, online. But the problem with people doing things online is you can't do it the way you did it before. You can't take a radio show and say, we're just going to put it on YouTube and think that you can do it the same way, where it's a couple hours long and we're talking about the same stuff. That's not what people are on YouTube and social media for. They want to get their stuff. They want to be able to be a two-way street where I can actually feel like I'm having a conversation with you about my thoughts as well as your thoughts, as opposed to being told on a one-way conduit. So it's interesting to me to see all this change and how I can see it, and I'm just Joe the fan here, but yet the big businesses, the big companies, the ones that have all the executives and all the money and stuff, don't see the same thing. Michael Irvin should go the way of Shay Shay, have his own podcast, and I can guarantee you people will tune in. All right, good people. That was nice to meet Larry, and Larry to see the house and excited about it. Now he's literally saying, I'm going to check around my house and see if I've got any old artifacts that would go well here. And that's kind of cool. Have a great day, y'all. Peace.